Hello, how are you guys? Hope everything's going well. So this lesson is for the week of April 26th through May 3rd for you all. Actually, I take that back, April 28th through May 4th. So this is going to be basically the assessment week for our Unit 5. So you're going to see over here for you guys, you'll have this as an ed puzzle. So you'll have a couple questions to ask, and then you will build your own argument response, which is an 80% grade. So there's a claim and the counterclaim. So it all goes on the same discussion board, actually. So I should probably change that to discussion board. I will be giving you information about that so that you can do well on it. And then, of course, hopefully you're still reading and then logging your minutes for how much you're reading. Let's go down to this slide. So on slide 7, you guys have been doing 3 different claims or resolutions. So some of you were researching the pro and the con of year-round school benefit students. Some of you were doing the same with professional athletes should be paid much less than they currently are. And then some of you were doing plastic water bottles should be banned. So what we're going to move to next is how to do this 80% assignment. So what you're going to be doing is you are going to be crafting a couple of paragraphs. So the first paragraph that you are going to be writing is your argumentative claim piece. So this is going to be your resolution. So what you have to do is have these components. You need a clear claim that connects to the overall debate resolution, which were right here. Those are the debate resolutions. You need supporting evidence from at least 2 reliable, credible sources with links to your sources properly cited, like we did back in our informational unit. You also need a warrant or a reasoning statement per piece of evidence. So again, claim, evidence, reasoning, and then your piece should be persuasive and compelling. So this section right here is what's called this is called a paragraph frame. If I had any of you in 5th grade, this probably looks familiar. I would give you some of these paragraph frames to help you figure out how to do the structure of the writing. So I am making one of these available for you for your writing. So this is, the resolution is, so once I tell you which side of the argument you are getting, you'll say the resolution is either correct if it agrees with the pro or incorrect if you get the con side of the argument. Because, and then you have to put in one main point or reason. Then you will say one piece of evidence that proves my point comes from, so then you say the source. And it says this, and this is where you're putting your quotation in. Remember when you used that document this last week, your pro-con organizer, all the information that you're going to need to do this assignment, this assessment, is right there in that pro-con organizer. So you have to be able to do, to have that finished before you can do this. So then you'll go on to this evidence proves my point because it shows that, and this is where your reasoning is. That was your right-hand side of the column. It's that 3rd column over. And then another piece of evidence that proves my point comes from, you can always say according to, you don't have to use these exact words, but this will help you. And it says this, and here's your quotation that you're pulling directly from your organizer. This evidence helps prove my point because it shows, and then again, there's your reasoning. Based on this evidence, it is clear that, and then you just want to restate your main point, what your claim was, in new words. And so then you would say that is correct. So I wrote one so that you could see it. I was using the resolution or claim last week of parents should limit screen time for their children. And then I wrote this. What I did was I actually copied this frame and then I pasted it in my document, my Word document, and then I started cutting and pasting from my document, my pro-con organizer from last week. So here's my first paragraph. This is my claim with evidence and reasoning. The resolution that parents should limit screen time for their children is correct because it affects their ability to learn and be successful. One piece of evidence that proves my point comes from CNN Wire, and it says children between the ages of 8 and 11 who spend more than 2 hours a day looking at screens were associated with lower cognitive function than those who engaged in less screen time. So then I used my in-text citations here. This evidence helps prove my point because it shows that if kids spend too much time online, kids won't be able to do well in school, which will lead to them having trouble getting a good job. Another piece of evidence that proves my point comes from clinical psychological science, and it says teens who spend more time on screen activities were significantly more likely to experience symptoms of depression and have suicidal thoughts, plans, and attempts. And let me fix that. Here. This evidence helps prove my point because it shows that if kids spend too much time on social media and other online activities, it affects their mental health. We want kids to be healthy, and this shows that too much screen time can lead to major issues that can be deadly. Based on this evidence, it is clear that if parents want their children to grow up healthy and happy, they must limit screen time. So I've tried to be persuasive. I made sure that I had a claim and a piece of evidence with reasoning, another piece of evidence and reasoning. And then at the bottom, you can see that I've added my full citations. So I forgot my citation up here, my in-text citation, so I'll need to go back and fix that. So again, you can copy and paste this paragraph frame in your discussion board that you'll be answering on. Once you have done this, then you will be moving on to you'll be going back to the discussion board, and you will be posting the counterclaim. So you will find someone from the opposition of you in the debate and reply to that paragraph. And what the counterclaim will look like is a complete counterclaim with supporting evidence from one reliable, credible source with your link to your sources provided and properly cited. So here is the sentence frame or paragraph frame for the counterclaim. While it's understandable that the opposition thinks, this is just basically a summary of one point made by somebody going against you. So you'll use what they put in the first post, in the first discussion board, and then you will write a reply to that. So I have written a counterclaim here. Here's my example. So while it's understandable that the opposition thinks there is almost no effect of greater screen time on psychological well-being, it is important to think about how overuse and lack of limits on screen time can affect children's mental health. According to a study published by Pew Research Center, 45% of teenagers are overwhelmed by all the drama on social media. And then here's my citation. Personally, I don't think we can take a chance on mental health. We must limit screen time for kids so that they are growing up without feelings of being overwhelmed, depression, and suicidal thoughts. So that is the counterclaim. So this is the scoring guide. So you guys will see this on both the discussion boards. And then I did put in here an example, my example, full example of my claim and counterclaim, so that if you want to go back and look at it, you can. Each section is worth 4 points, 4 points for the claim, 4 points for the evidence with your citations, 4 points for your reasoning, and 4 points for the counterclaim, so that you are accurately refuting somebody else's claim. So what you'll see in Schoology is this in this week's assignment. So if you're the year-round school, you'll click on the first discussion board. If you're a professional athlete, you'll click on this one. If you're a plastic water bottle, you'll click on this one. And then this one just has the directions. Everything that you do this week is going to be replying just on your discussion board, but I added 5.7 to show you, just to give you more directions. So now is the reveal. So this is who's going to be arguing the pro and the con. So these students have been doing the year-round school. Oops. These students have been doing the professional athletes basically are overpaid. These students have been doing plastic water bottles should be banned. So what needs to happen then is, for example, we've got Addison, Avery, Eliza, and Donovan are doing the pro side. So they're going to be agreeing and using their information from the pro side of their organizer to write their claim. The other three, you three will be writing, going down to the con section and arguing the opposite. So your claim is going to have to be something like, year-round school doesn't benefit students, or there are no real benefits of year-round school for students. Something where you've got a claim that is the opposite of this, because you guys are the con. Okay, so then for Florencio and Justice and Caitlin and Lila, you guys will do the pro. Basically, athletes are overpaid. So you'll look at the top section, your pro side, and then the people doing the con or disagreeing with this, that's Gabriel, Gracelyn, Isabella, Jackson. So you guys will be saying, professional athletes, you need some sort of claim that's the opposite of that professional athletes should get paid whatever they get paid. And then for the plastic water bottles should be banned, Marissa, you are going to argue the pro. So is Nadar and Presley and Zayden. So the con, so Mackenzie, Melanie, Pandora, and Robbie will be arguing the opposite, that we shouldn't ban plastic water bottles. So this is your big assignment. And I'm going to show you in Schoology again where that is. So you can see the section here. So I will add my slides. I will add the Edpuzzle for this, but you will be able to see that once you open up your discussion board, that it's basically everything that I've went over with you. So you have to write a paragraph first on this. So this will be where you would write a paragraph. I think I can post mine here. That might help you. But that will be my example. You guys have to write year-round school to this claim. So those students that are, those students right here, Addison, Avery, Eliza, Ashling, Brayden, Cody, Donovan, Eva, you guys will be only posting on that argument. Then the students that will be posting on the athlete argument will be these students. And then the students posting on plastic water bottles argument will only be these students. Then once you've done your claim, because some of you are the pro side, some of you are the con side, you have to wait for some people that are the opposite of you to do their claim before you can respond to someone else. So then you will, these are the directions. You aren't going to respond to this one. This is just the directions. You have to actually go back in to your argument, and then you'll post the counterclaim underneath their claim. Okay, so first time we're trying this, but we got this. So this is a 16.80% grade. And so this, and along with the Edpuzzle, will be the only thing that you have to get done this week. And really, if you did the research from last week, this is a really simple assignment. This really shouldn't take you, because you're basically taking all the information you got from last week and basically copying and pasting and then just making sure it makes sense. Because if you've already done the research, which you should have, then this part is pretty simple. Like to write a paragraph, write 2 paragraphs, it might take you 45 minutes. So you're going to want to try to do this early in the week, because you're going to want give that person time to do the counterclaim. So it's going to be pretty important that you do this early in the week so everybody has a chance to write their counterclaim. All right. Well, if you guys have questions, I still have virtual time at 8:30 on most red days. We have that calendar that should give you the information for that. So if you go to our materials section, and then you are looking at our schedule here. Let's see, April. So you should be able to see when I'm available. So you'll notice that today is Tuesday, so you can see my thing right here. And then I should be available on Friday at 8:30. And then you should be able to see May. Some of these may change just because May is going to get kind of sticky, especially with some of you testing with NWEA testing and some of you doing the all-day testing. So again, if you need anything, let me know. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Talk to you later.